Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another Italian brand to discover, and it is the Merchant of Venice. I have here 11 fragrances to share my first impression on. This is part of my Italian brands series. Since last year, I am on the quest of discovering more Italian brands since I live here in Italy. And the Merchant of Venice was one of my top brands that I wanted to discover more of, but the samples, to get a sample of this house was quite difficult. Today I have 11 to share with you. This is just a first impression. By the end of this year, I will do a recap because I think 2 years on this quest is more than enough to discover Italian brands. I mean, there are always new brands on the market, but I think I'm not going to dedicate next year also for Italian brands. So I will do a recap. So definitely stay tuned because it's going to be a glorious one. Actually, I have more than 11 fragrances because I have the discovery set. I totally forgot about it. Anyway, so let's start. I am not going to go in any particular order. I will start by the ones that are in the discovery set. And the first one here is Byzantinum Saffron. Wow, can't wait to test this because I love saffron if it's done well. Saffron can be a note that is a little bit leathery, medicinal, but if it's done right and blended well, it's just the most sexy, alluring note in my opinion. It is a leathery one. I know that the opening can be deceiving, especially with saffron, but I can already say it has a leather touch, definitely. But it's not medicinal, it's not too sharp. It's a little bit almost, it's almost powdery in a way. No, not powdery, almost velvety. There is also a floral touch and maybe patchouli. And I can tell you that this is a total masculine fragrance. So nothing that I would wear. It's starting to get more and more on the masculine side, but the saffron is not as sharp as in the opening, which again I expected. And it's not as strong as in the beginning. It's more softer now, which I appreciate. I don't like loud fragrances. This one, I am quite intrigued. It has also an aromatic touch. It's quite complex. When I smelled it, when my first sniff, I thought I will have like a very simple fragrance. Actually, it seems to be much more complex than I have thought. As usual, at the end of this video, I am doing a ranking and then I smell all the fragrances so they had the time to settle, and will tell you my final thoughts. The next one is Mandarin Carnival. I love the note of mandarin. Oh, this is so pleasant. It's a green mandarin. There is a lot of petit grain. It has definitely orange blossom because I can smell the sweetness of orange blossom. And it's quite pleasant and quite surprising for me. Totally honest. Since I started to test Italian brands, I have noticed a pattern with a lot of Italian brands. They are all extremely synthetic. And as you all know, my favorite Italian brand is Acqua di Parma because it's very effortlessly chic, elegant, simple, natural smelling fragrances. So I have been accustomed that Acqua di Parma is like the exception, and all the brands have this synthetic way, let's say, if it's not an old brand. So all the modern brands, let me rephrase it. All the modern brands go to a very synthetic route, mass-pleasing route also. So I am really pleasantly surprised with this one. It has a fruity sweetness to it that is not from the mandarin, and some floral touch, and it's so pleasant. As a citrusy fanatic, I love this fragrance. I love it. This is really great. You can see from my smile, I was worried, honestly, but now I think I can breathe. And let's get to the next one. This is Suave Petals or Suave Petals. Okay, I imagine a delicate floral, maybe rose scent. It is a rose scent, but I wouldn't categorize it as suave at all. It definitely has a bite. There is definitely patchouli, like your typical rose patchouli scent that is a little bit on the dark side, that has a little bit of sweetness. Yeah, this is the fragrance. I definitely smelled similar fragrances. It's not bad. I love actually the scent profile, and it's getting muskier and muskier. It's really nice. I like it, but I definitely smelled similar fragrances, even designer fragrances. So yeah, a nice scent, but I would say didn't wow me, let's say. Let's see the next one. By the way, I usually do my first impression where I don't list the notes. So when I do the editing, I look for the notes and I put a picture of them. Tell me if it's more helpful for you for a first impression for me to verify the notes, or to just leave it at that and you can check the notes on the screen. Tell me in the comments down below. The next one I didn't tell you is Mystic Incense. So an incensey fragrance. I'm not a fan of incense. Oh, but this is pleasant. Wow. Oh, it's so refreshing to find a fragrance house that takes me by surprise and wows me. This is an introduction into incense. It's not so smoky. I mean, you get the incense, but it's not churchy, it's not smoky. It's very pleasant with a big dose of amber, but the amber is not dense or sweet, is very soft. This is a fragrance that I know will develop quite differently because I can already smell that the fragrance is changing. For now, I really like it. And I would say it is a good introduction into incense because you will not smell like a church. It's almost clean. Can be an incense fragrance smell like clean? I really, really like this fragrance. Wow. Again, another hit. Let's see if it will continue. Let's see the next one. We have Andalucian Soul. Okay, as someone who studied Spanish and studied Spanish history, I cannot wait to test this fragrance. Let's see what is their interpretation on this part of history of Spain. Oh, nice. An ambery vanilla fragrance in a nutshell. A little bit of powderiness, almost like vanilla powder on top of a big dose of amber. Very beautiful, but very one-dimensional, at least for me now. So I feel it's lacking a little bit of contrast or depth. Yeah, I can only smell vanilla and amber, and the vanilla here is quite sweet, powdery. It's almost gourmand, although I would categorize it as an ambery fragrance, but it's very, very verging on the gourmand. This is how strong the vanilla is. And I can already feel that it will be as strong in performance. This is also a thumb up for now. Let's get to the next one. Rosamo. I am pronouncing it in Italian. I don't know if I'm supposed to pronounce it in Italian. Wow. It's not that I love the fragrance, it's that I find it so refreshing after testing a lot to find something that gives me a hit after a hit after a hit. It's too early to say, but I think I love this brand. Oh, this is pleasant. This is for me what Suave Petals should have been. This is a very delicate, feminine, floral fragrance. Oh, very dreamy. A beautiful, fresh pink rose in the morning with some dewdrops on it. It's musky. Oh, this is good. So good. It's not a groundbreaking, however, composition. But I almost want to say it's my favorite one, but it's too early. It's too early, so I'm not going to say it. It reminds me of the one from Maison Francisco John, the one with the rose. I will leave the name here. I just can't remember the name. It reminds me of that rose. So it's a natural plush pink rose in the morning. The sun is just coming out. For now, it's 10 out of 10. This is, I want to say, a fragrance that I'm going to add to my wish list. But no, I'm going to keep it cool and test the fragrances. By the way, can we appreciate the bottles? If you ever went to Venice, to Murano, where they do these beautiful Murano vases and artwork, I find these bottles a work of art. They are so beautiful and representative of Venice. Okay, this was the discovery set. So now let's go to my samples. So we have already tested Suave Petals. Next we have Rococo. And this is my favorite bottle. Look at that. I have seen this bottle on the internet and I was like, what is that? I need that in my life. Oh no, they are dappers. I hate dappers. Of course, I did a mess like every time. Why do brands do dappers? Oh my God. Oh, I know. I almost dropped all the sample. I will smell like this fragrance now for the rest of the day. It's everywhere. I hope it's a good one. I am drenched in it. Okay, it's not a bad one. Good news. But it's a very challenging one. No, not challenging. It's not for everybody. It's ambery with some zinginess to it, but at the same time a sweetness and a gourmand touch. It's quite confusing. I categorize it as an ambery fragrance, but it has so many facets. I am like, I don't know what I'm smelling. There is a lot of notes going, a lot of things going on. Also a little bit spicy, by the way. There's almost this edge, like even like ginger, something zingy. I don't know what to tell you about this one. Do we have the notes on the sample? Yeah. So it says here olibanum, bergamot, heliotrope, clove, jasmine, cocoa, and benzoin. Jasmine? Heliotrope? I get the clove, the benzoin, maybe the olibanum, but the rest no. I still can't tell you what I feel about this fragrance. It's quite an unusual scent. Let's leave it to the end and see how it will develop and if it's something that I would recommend. But it's not a bad fragrance. And next fragrance I am very intrigued by because the name is Arabesque, and again you have this beautiful bottle. I almost can tell you I would buy a fragrance for the bottle because they are such a work of art in my opinion. From the name I would imagine an ambery fragrance. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Apples. I smell an apple note. Oh, it went. Where did it go? I smelled apple and it was so quickly to disappear. Where did it go? It's cinnamon mixed with something very warm and sweet. Vanilla maybe? No, it's not vanilla. Tonka maybe? Slightly woody. It smells partially gourmand, partially Middle Eastern fragrance. Am I smelling tobacco? Yeah. Tobacco. A sweet tobacco. Oh yes, it's coming now very, very, very strong. This smells like tobacco vanille from Tom Ford. But it's more complex. Definitely more complex. And the sweetness is different. I can smell vanilla, but the sweetness is a little bit different. Maybe there is some dried fruits or something. This smells delicious. Can't wait to test this one. It's going very well. I don't want to, how do you call it? Jinx it? But for now, oh my God, I think I'm in love. Let's see, the next one is Imperial Emerald. I just hope that it's not a green fragrance. I don't like green fragrances at all. And I can't imagine this brand to come out with a green fragrance. I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, I get the green, like the green color, but it's not a green fragrance. This is a ylang ylang fragrance. Maybe tuberose. Mostly I get now ylang ylang. It's a tropical fragrance. So why is the name Emerald Green? But it's fresh and complex and so beautiful. You all know how I struggle with tropical fragrances because usually they put coconut, usually they have a lot of vanilla, they smell like suntan lotion, they are too dense, too sweet. This is tropical flowers made to perfection. The freshness is absolutely beautiful here. And it's not from citrusy notes. I can't tell you what it is. Oh, I love this one. I'm starting to get the tuberose more. There's definitely tuberose here. And the ylang ylang is not as predominant as in the beginning. This is quite a nice tropical floral fragrance. Next is called Ficha. This is very strange. It's citrusy rose, but it's also ambery, spicy. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's unique and strange in a way. I will look up the notes on this one because I feel like it's nothing that I personally detect, except of the rose. There's definitely rose here. Let's see the notes on this one. We have top notes of lemon and elemi, mid notes of rose, myrrh. Yeah, a little bit of myrrh, yes. Nutmeg, yes. Olibanum, no. Clove, maybe in the background. Cinnamon, and in the base we have citruses, sandalwood, benzoin, saffron, tonka bean, and patchouli. Yes, the patchouli is there, and the presence of citruses in the base is maybe explaining why I'm telling you it's citrusy rose. It's, I can't explain how this fragrance smells. I get also the saffron. I don't know about this fragrance. It's definitely unique. I will give it that, but I can't tell you how I feel about it. Okay, let's leave it at that. Next is La Fenice, or Gran Teatro La Fenice. I'm expecting something that smells expensive, opulent, and old money. Let's see if it meets my expectations. Partially, yes. It's a very opulent floral vanilla. opulent in the sense that the notes are very strong and condensed in a way. I don't know if I'm making sense. It's sweet, but not creamy. So it's not your sweet floral, it's a creamy floral. And the base is very unique to be mixed with this floral. So is it, the base is, I don't know how to explain it. It's ambery, vanilla, but there is something different about this one. I can't tell you. Again, I will look up the notes on this one because I am very intrigued and I want to know what is that note. So let's see. We have in the top hawthorn, I don't know how to pronounce this. Mandarin orange. In the mid we have almond blossom. Yeah. Tuberose, maybe a little bit of tuberose, yes. Heliotrope, I don't get at all. There is no powderies for now. In the base we have vanilla, tonka bean and cedar. No, nothing that explains what I'm smelling, but it is a gorgeous scent. It's not something that I would personally wear, but I really, really like it. There's just something about it. I can swear these are not all the notes. There is something different about this fragrance in particular. Anyway, let's move to the next one, and it is a Liberty. Oh, hell no. Yeah, it was too good to be true. It can be all hits. Oh yeah. No. This is a masculine fragrance, and it's not because it's masculine that I don't like it. It's kind of these leather fragrances that I don't like. It's quite on the animalic side. I don't like this fragrance, and it's quite simple actually. It's not very complex. Let's move on. Next we have Gyokuro. Wow. No, I can't believe it. I am loving almost every scent. This is not good. Not good for my wallet. Not good for anyone's wallet. It's, again, not a scent profile that I would wear, but it's so beautifully done. Oh. This is a green, fruity fragrance. Oh, so beautiful. The inspiration seems like Japanese, but with Japan in particular, I feel like I wouldn't associate it with a lot of fruitiness. Like the fruits must be very airy, very light. My description will put you off this fragrance, but trust me, it smells good. It smells like grass, tea, musk, and a fruit garden. I never liked this grassy notes in fragrances, but here it's so beautiful. Yeah, like fresh cut grass almost, mixed with a fruit garden and some green tea. Again, I like it. What can I tell you? I left the fragrance that I'm mostly excited about for last, and it is Queen of the Night. And it's not because I know the notes, it's because it's the name of a flower that I associate with my childhood. I don't know if it's present in this fragrance, but let's see. I don't think the flower is present here. This is a spicy, sweet amber fragrance. A lot of vanilla, maybe some cinnamon. It's a warm, ambery, resinous, sweet fragrance. This is gorgeous. I think I left the best for last. I think this is my favorite one. If you love this sweet, ambery, resinous, deep, but not challenging in any way fragrances, I think you will love this one. Okay, Now that I have tested all these fragrances, now let's get to the ranking. This was one of the easiest rankings I've ever done. As usual, I go from my least favorite to my most favorite. Liberty, of course, is my least favorite. I don't like this leather at all. Then I would go with La Ficha. It doesn't speak to me. I don't know what to tell you. Next, I would go with Byzantinum Saffron. The dry down is very meh, but it's not a bad fragrance. Actually, from all the fragrances that I've tested, the only one that I would not recommend is Liberty because of the scent profile. And another one because it's not groundbreaking. I definitely smelled something similar, and it is Suave Petals. Then I would go with Mystic Incense. A very simple, clean, nice introduction into incense. Then I would go with Imperial Emerald. Oh, is that unique. Very, very unique green tropical tuberose. The tuberose now is very predominant. I am not very much into tuberose, and it's not my favorite tuberose, just to be clear. Of course, I'm going to test it on my skin and maybe I will change my mind, but I don't think that I will. Then I would go with La Ficha. Again, not because it's bad, it's actually gorgeous. It's just not my favorite from these gorgeous scents. Now, all the rest are fragrances that I dare to say that I love. Next is Gyokuro, one of the best tea fragrances I've ever smelled. And the grassy note isn't there anymore. Now it's more fruity and fresh and musky and tea-like. So good, so good. If you love tea fragrances, please test this one. Then I would go with Roco. It's so beautiful. This is the one that went everywhere. And let me tell you, I smell amazing. Very beautiful, deep and dark resinous fragrance that is sweet. And the thing is, it's quite a shifter. Every time I smell it, I get something different. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Can't wait to test this one on skin and see how it will behave. The next one is Andalucian Soul. Just this gorgeous balance between smokiness, vanilla and amber, and some balsamic notes, maybe resinous notes. It's so beautiful, so beautiful blend. The next one is Mandarin Carnival. As a citrusy lover, I really love this fragrance, and it seems like it has a good performance because it's still here, and I get now almost like a tea note in it. There is a hint of a tea note in this fragrance. Last three, and I am struggling not to say it because you will think that I'm crazy, but I am telling you, I feel like these three are going to be on my wish list. Number 3 is Rosa Mocheniga. It's such a gorgeous rose scent, and I know it's very simple, but I love it. I love the smell of the rose, this plush pink, natural smelling rose. It's so beautiful. Just reminds me of a typical spring morning where there is a little bit of cold in the air. We are not yet blessed with the heat of the sun, and it's just a gorgeous scent. Number 2 is Queen of the Night. It's such a gorgeous scent. What can I tell you about this scent? Except that if you love sweet ambery fragrances, you have to test this one. The only thing that I think this is from their very exclusive, or I don't know, like they have a lot of price range, and I think this one is from the most expensive ones, if I'm not mistaken. Hope not. Number 1, Arabesque. Who I love. 10 out of 10. I love this scent. Oh my God. This gourmand touch, the cinnamon note mixed with this beautiful amber and the tobacco. It's just gorgeous. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. There is a lot of sweet tobacco fragrances, but I have to say the tobacco here is not like, I can't categorize it as a tobacco fragrance. It's more an amber fragrance, but it has a predominant tobacco note. It's gorgeous. You have to test this fragrance if you love fragrances like Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. I think it's much better. Much better. Anyway, as you can see, I am shocked. I can't say that I'm surprised. I am shocked because I didn't expect to have so many hits in the brand. It has been a very, very, very long time that I tested a new brand, and I liked so many fragrances. And I can't wait to test more. They have quite an extensive collection, and I know they have also like I don't know how to call it, like enhancing fragrances. You have one note ingredient in each perfume to change and layer your fragrances, which is the same idea of Allegra line from Bulgari. I know they have a discovery set of that. Can't wait to test it and test more fragrances because I am blown away, to say the least, with this brand. And I can say comfortably that from the new brands that I've tested now for 2 years, Italian brands, I mean, this is the best, hands down. And the bottles are just a work of art. So I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. Tell me in the comments down below, did you test any of these fragrances? Do you know the brand? And also I will leave linked down below the playlist of all the previous Italian brands that I've tested. I've tested Simone Andreoli, Giardini di Toscana, a private collection from Prada, the private collection from Trussardi, Xerjoff, a lot of hyped and also unknown Italian brands. You will find everything in the playlist down below. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.